I mean, is Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against
Kansas at home. When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get the sauce.
Greetings. Hope you're all having a lovely Wednesday. Hope you all had a nice Tuesday night. I went 1-1 in the NBA. LaMelo Ball got ruled out, got bit by the injury report in that one. Did get the Warriors Bucks under, though. So went 1-1. I did lose a San Diego State bet. So as a whole, I went 1-2 last night. It was my first losing night in some time. I didn't like it. I prefer the winning nights. Call me an old-fashioned bettor. I prefer the winning nights over the losing nights. So hopefully, let's get back on track here. Things have been going really well for me recently. We got 11 NBA games. Chris was just here, and now he's back. Chris is now back. First game, I don't really think I can express in words how little interest I have in it. Indiana's got Halliburton questionable, Siakam questionable, Miles Turner questionable. They've also got the Brooklyn Nets on deck. They play a home game against the Nets tomorrow, which not that either game is particularly important, but the game against the Eastern Conference opponent would be more important in terms of playoff seeding. So with those pieces sitting at questionable, I'd say there's a pretty good chance at least one or two of those pieces sit, and then they go full strength to beat up on the Nets tomorrow. So it's a straight pass for me. I guess if you put a gun to my head and force me to place a bet, probably say it gets up and over the total, but it's going to be a pass for me.
Shout out Swish in the comments. He understands the shirt. He's a real one. Yeah, I don't have a bet in this game. I'm guessing that like the Pacers are going to sit guys, and if they do, the natural pivot in terms of player props would be Obi Toppin. He just played 40 minutes last game, and all those guys sat. I think he scored like 30 plus points. So obviously you're hoping that he could stay hot. But with the Pacers having G League guys listed as available, obviously they're planning on sitting people. But they don't even have odds out for Obi Toppin yet, and the Mavericks is just a total crapshoot. So I'm out on that. But yeah, I mean, I don't have a bet in this game.
Obi Toppin, if everybody sits. Chris,
pretty much.
Any thoughts?
Man, I think you did a pretty good job of summing it up, Cal. What I will add is that Dallas defense is absolutely horrible. So even those backups for Indiana, I think, will be able to score. Dallas has given up 128 in 9 of their last 10 games. They don't have a center. They can't rebound. Like, it's pretty bad in Dallas right now.
Let's move on to the next one. And I do have a bet in this next game. Honestly, I'm a little surprised that this line hasn't moved. I have two small. Well, I bought some Houston -2.5. I also have some Houston -2s. So I'm in on the Rockets. Really thought that this number would be closing at 3.5, 4. I have it at 4. I actually have it in between 4 and 4.5.
Surprise. It got up there, Cal. It did get up there to 3.5 earlier, and then it came back down.
I didn't even see that. It must have been early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So Circa does have it at 3, so maybe it's still going to move up. But as far as the matchup, we just saw it. We just saw this matchup. I had Orlando in that one. I bet the Magic specifically because the Rockets had no Fred VanVleet and no Amen Thompson. So without both those guys, the Rockets don't have a primary ball handler, and the Magic still couldn't do shit. The matchup between the Magic and this Rockets defense is a terrible one. They couldn't do anything in that game. And it makes sense. The Magic have struggled with good defenses all year. If you've been blindly fading the Magic every time they see a good defense, you are doing quite well this season. So it's a good matchup for the Rockets. We just saw it. Now they're playing with VanVleet out there. So because you could say, hey, the last time, when was that? The last time they played was in
week.
Yeah, it was probably like a week
beginning
ago.
Of last week,
yeah,
like 9 days ago. Yeah,
week and a half ago. You could say the last time they played was in Houston. Now they're in Orlando, but also the last time they played was no Fred VanVleet. So I would imagine everyone is hitting the Rockets here at -2.5. It's probably going to be the heavy public side. Obviously, there's some sharp action in coming on the Orlando side, keeping this number at 2.5. So sure they see something, but I personally think this number should be 4, 4.5, like I said. So I like this. I like this Rockets bet. I'm on Houston.
Yeah, I haven't played this one. It's some of the worst CLV I've ever had in my life. So I don't know if I'm just missing something because there hasn't been like injury news that's impacted it. I had Jabari Smith Jr. over 6.5 rebounds. When I locked it in, it was minus 120, and everywhere else was like minus 130. That has now moved. You can get plus 120 on that at DraftKings. So obviously the market incredibly disagreed with me. I really like the play. I don't know if people are scared of increased minutes for Tari Eason or increased minutes for Steven Adams, but in 6 games, in the last 6 games since Amen Thompson got hurt, Jabari Smith Jr. has hit this number in 5 of those 6 games. He's averaging over 13 rebound chances per game. And only once in this 6-game stretch did he have a game with fewer than 12 rebound chances. It was one outlier game where he only had 8. Şengün did miss one of those games, but if you look at games with Şengün without Amen Thompson, it's 13.4 rebound chances per game, which is really good. 5 of those 6 games, he's had between 12 and 18 rebound chances. If you put him in that range, he's hit at least 7 rebounds in 20 of 22 games. I also like the profile or the matchup against the Magic. The matchup against the Magic, 7 of 11 players per props madness with Jabari Smith Jr.'s rebounding profile have gone over 7 of 11. And in that game, these two teams just played. He had 15 rebound chances in that game, and he got 7 of them. So yeah, I don't really understand why the market has moved so aggressively against me. I might just be missing something, but it's the play I have, and I'm going to stick with it.
I'd say there's probably a good chance you're missing something because you're not a very observant person. Chris, what do you think?
Damn. Such a straight face. Sheesh. I kind of agree with everything you said, Kyle. I do think it's a bad matchup for Orlando here. Here's what's holding me up and why I didn't get to the window. It feels like Orlando's kind of like, I mean, Houston's about to lose a game. They just came off an overtime game to Philly that they probably shouldn't have won. They had to come back, fight back tooth and nail in that game. And I can't remember who it was. Chicago. They didn't cover the Chicago game either. And Orlando, I know you could say it's a little bit of a letdown spot coming back home after beating Cleveland. They have the rest advantage here, and they played tremendously better on the road than they have at home. 4-1 on that 5-game road trip. But if I want to fade them, Kyle, because I still don't think Orlando's going to be able to score. I also think Houston's going to dominate the boards because Amen Thompson wasn't in that game, the last one. They out-rebounded Orlando by 21. It was 63-42. Offensive rebounds, they were +7 as well. And they held Orlando to 32% shooting. It feels like all good defenses do that. So the way I want to fade Orlando here is first quarter. Houston has been significantly better early in games than late. So I like the angle of fading them, especially with Orlando coming back home in their first game after 5 straight road games, maybe feeling a little fat and happy after beating Cleveland in their last game. So I like Houston early. You can get the first quarter minus -0.5 point. I have not placed the first quarter bet in a really long time. I like this one a lot tonight.
Houston, first quarter. All right, let's move on to the next one. Detroit, Miami. I got the over at 217 last night. Looks like it's at 218.5 right now. Well, Detroit's been an over team. You don't need me to tell you that. They're playing at a fast pace. They're attacking the basket. But specifically against these types of teams, the Miami Heat games have gone over. Against teams that run a fast pace, against teams that get out in transition, for the most part, these numbers have gone over. Against the top 10 in terms of transition, they're 17-8 to the over. The Miami Heat are. Also, the Heat, weirdly, I can't really explain why. Miami really struggling to protect the paint. That was a strength for them in the past couple years. So struggling to protect the paint out of nowhere. Don't really know what's going on with that. But hold on, let me pull it up and get the exact numbers because the Heat are playing some good defense, but it's specifically. Let me pull up exactly. I'm doing this from memory. I should have had it in front of me. 1 second. Heat defense. It's loading up in a second. So, yeah, 28th in defensive efficiency in the paint in the last 10 games, the Heat defense. So, yeah, I mean, Detroit should be able to score. They should get out and run on this Heat defense. And these games have gone over. I shared on the video last night a lot of trends that point towards the over. So, I mean, to be honest, I had this one at about 223. So I would still play it here at 218.5. I have it at 217.
Excuse me. I have 2 plays in this one, so I'll try and go quick. The first one, Cade Cunningham, 10+ assists. You can still get that at +116 at that would be at FanDuel, so you can still get basically the same price that I got. I really like this for Cade. He's missed this in 2 straight games. One of those games he missed was against the Thunder, who he had 9 assists and 18 potential assists in that game. And then he got ejected, didn't even play 30 minutes. The next game, he had 8 assists on 14 potential assists. They won that game by 46. Barely played in the second half. So I like the fact that he's missed it in 2 straight, but neither of them are really anything that would scare me off. And it's a really, really good matchup against the Miami Heat. Again, per props madness, 10 of 13 players with this playmaking style have hit their assist prop over. Last time these 2 teams played, Cade Cunningham had 18 assists in that game, had over 20 potential assists. He did miss it in the other 2 games, but he had 14 potential assists at least in both of those games, and he hits at least 10 assists on 14 at like a 60% rate. So he is a pretty high conversion rate guy with his assists. And then as for Jalen Duren, he also missed missed it in the last 2 games. One of them only 5 rebounds on 15 rebound chances, and I had him 12 plus rebounds. I should say Jalen Duren 12 plus rebounds. Last game he missed it, had 5 rebounds in the first quarter, 7 at halftime, and then again the game was over at that point. He's also only hit this in 1 of 3 games against the Heat, but in those games he had 17, 23, and 21 rebound chances. And since January 1st, when he's had even 17 rebound chances, he gets at least 12 in like a 2/3 of the time, 66% rate. Good matchup against the Heat for center rebound props. So I went with both of them.
Chris.
Hey, Moda, I tell you that that is a lot better response than you got the last time. So just live with that one. So I played Detroit in this spot, man. I got a 5. I'm not sure why the line moved against me. Maybe Miami Heat are going to win a basketball game. It's something that they haven't been doing. And I think that Detroit has a really good matchup, Kyle. You mentioned Detroit taking advantage of points in the paint. We both just cashed with Detroit the other day because the Pelicans do what? Struggle guarding, the rim. And that's what we've seen from this Miami Heat team. Miami Heat are 1-9 straight up, 0-6 against the spread in their last 6 games. You add to the fact that Detroit does not have a look ahead spot. They got 2 days off after this. They play the Dallas Mavericks, so you're not looking ahead to that. You add that Miami's offense has looked like the Virginia basketball offense, like they're scoring 35 points a game out here.
Such an unnecessary shot at the Cavs there.
Well,
good nuts, a good pull.
It's pretty bad. They haven't scored 109 points in 9 straight games. They've been held under their team total in 7 straight games. So we'll see if they score. Detroit is the number 1 defensive rated team last 5 games. And it's a lot of things. I don't want to go through all of them because I could talk about this until the cows come home, Kyle, but Detroit's in a really good situation, in my opinion, to do a lot of really good things. I like a lot about Detroit tonight. So I got a lot in my notes. I'll add, this is the last thing I'll add. In the 7 games that Miami has lost as a home dog, they've only covered 2 of them. So 5 of those losses did come by 9 points or more. On the flip side, when Detroit has won as a favorite on the road, the 10 times that they've won as a favorite, perfect 10-0 against the spread. They're winning those games by average of about 14 points per game as a road favorite when they do win. So I expect them to win. I expect them to cover the short number. I did get a 5. I didn't think the line would move. It did go up to 5.5, but then now I see it at 4.5, I think is what it is right now. So we'll see. The market's against me, but I laid the 5 here.
Next up, I want this one bad. I want it bad. I had to refrain from pulling the trigger on this bet. I still like it. I liked it last night. This is not on my ticket, but you can put the Pellies up for me because let the record show I want to bet the Pelicans bad here. The Pelicans have 2 glaring weaknesses this year. Number 1, defensive rebounding. If you clean up on the offensive glass, you could have a field day against this Pelicans defense. They cannot protect the defensive glass. So defensive rebounding is their number 1 weakness. Number 2, defense in transition. Run the floor, crash the boards against the Pelicans, and you will beat them, right? Remember, I was talking about how I like the matchup for the Rockets when they played them in a home and home or whatever that was.
Detroit last game?
Detroit. So why am I bringing this up? Because Minnesota doesn't do either of those things. They have 0 offensive rebounding presence. They're one of the worst offensive rebounding teams in the NBA, and they never run in transition. They are literally 30th in transition frequency. So the 2 weaknesses I just described for the Pelicans, protecting the defensive glass, defending in transition, Minnesota doesn't do either of those. I like the matchup here for the Pelicans, and it actually gets even better. This Minnesota team, as I'm sure you probably know if you followed this year, take a lot of threes. This is a 3-point happy offense to the maximum. The Pelicans have been more profitable against those type of teams. They've been more profitable against teams that don't attack the paint, jump shooting team. So it's a great matchup for the Pelicans. I'm getting a big old number against a team I don't trust to cover big numbers as favorites. So, Kyle, why haven't you bet it? Because the talent discrepancy here is significant. Minnesota is fully healthy. They have their full roster out and full roster playing in this one. And on the Pelican side, I mean, Trey Murphy is now out as well. Add them in there with DeJounte Murray. Add them in there with Herb Jones, pieces that have been out for the season. And we're just looking at a shell of what this Pelicans team might be next year. I want to take it badly. I want to take the Pelicans money line shit, but I didn't. I do not have the nuts to do it. Modi.
Sorry about your nuts, Kyle. Have you heard that it's Mariah Mills night in Minnesota? I don't know if that changes your opinion at all.
Wow.
Mariah Mills, the porn star?
Yep. She has 2
Oh,
seats
because of
for her.
Zion.
One for each team.
I got it. Pop culture. I know my stuff.
Yeah, there you go. No, I don't have a play in this game. Absolutely not.
Chris?
Oh man, that is funny. I would need 21 and a half points here, Cal, if I wanted to take the Pelicans because of that talent discrepancy. With no trade, with no Trey Murphy on the floor, like I'm not sure how they're going to be able to score the basketball. And I heard what you said, Cal. You're right. The Timberwolves don't get out and run a lot, but when they do run, they can score. And I feel like against a team like this, like you'll see them let down a little bit, maybe on the defensive end. I'm still not sure if New Orleans is going to be able to score the basketball, because I do expect that at some point that the efficiency for the Timberwolves defense to get a little bit better now that Rudy Gobert is back a couple games. But they haven't, like you said, they haven't been doing the greatest job protecting the rim. The Pelicans are 9-25 on this against the spread on the road this season. 2-8 straight up against the spread in their last 10 games. I couldn't quite get there. And you got Minnesota coming off a loss against the Pacers the other day. So they won this game by 20. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Oh, the dog's barking. So dogs must like the Pelicans as well. But I would be on Minnesota. I didn't bet the game though, because I don't like that they're coming off the overtime.
I don't believe in that voodoo shit. Your dog barking doesn't move the needle for me.
Well, you want the dog.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, I'm not going to bet it now because a dog barked. I don't know how sharp that dog is.
His toe's healed, by the way, just so people know.
It's what?
Remember he had a broken toe? He's healed now.
Oh, that's your dog?
Oh, okay.
I thought that was Chris's dog.
You definitely don't bet that dog then, huh, Cal?
Yeah, no, I'm not tailing Modi's dog. Are you crazy? I don't even tail Modi.
Yeah, with a turd ass toe.
Next up.
Chris's dog's toes don't get fucking hurt.
Yeah, Chris actually takes care of his dog's toes. Philadelphia, Oklahoma City. Matt, tell us about your beloved 76ers. What's it like being a fan? What's the current state? What's going on with the team?
The Eagles won the Super Bowl.
Oh my God, such a cop out.
So that's not, well, I mean, that's all that you ask me on the city. That's all they care about is that in the Phillies.
No, I'm asking him specifically about this 76ers team. Let's get into the crux of it. What's going on with this team?
Yeah, they hate him. They hate Daryl Morey, who apparently just uses AI to make his decisions now, which is really cool of him.
Makes sense.
This game is just the ultimate tankathon because the Sixers want to lose to keep their pick. The Thunder are the team that gets the Sixers pick if they don't keep it.
Oh,
so that's why they're resting SGA and all those other guys.
I didn't even think about that.
This is this is peak NBA. I don't have a bet in this one. I like the look on Aaron Wiggins' points, 20 plus. It was like plus 130. I unfortunately didn't get that number, and right now it's like minus 105, which I don't really think it's worth it there. So unless you can get a plus 100 or better on that I would play Aaron Wiggins' points, but I didn't really have an official play in this one.
Chris, did you think? I didn't even think about that. So Oklahoma City.
I did not.
So if the Sixers fall out of the top 6 or 7 of the draft, Oklahoma City gets their pick. So Oklahoma City wants Philly to win a few games here. Oh,
Which means does that
look
mean
at who they're resting?
I was gonna say, well, SGA, it is third game in 4 nights, but if Jalen Williams is hurt, Isaiah Hartenstein questionable, so he probably won't play, right? And then Dort's already rolled out, and then Casey Wallen is questionable as well. So yeah, I mean, yeah, we can skip it because that makes my brain hurt trying to even figure that out. And I think Philly had 11 players on the injury report against the Rockets the other day. So
I must say,
nothing
though,
for me in
I'm
this
saying
one.
in
What
the
you got?
Discord, the 76ers are playing their hearts out right now, folks.
They are.
I believe
They
they're
are.
5-0 against the spread their last 5. Quentin Grimes is putting the
Guy can't
team on
miss.
his back, and he's balling.
Jared Butler. Jared Butler balled against Houston
Let
and,
me
and
just
took
say,
my money the other night as well.
Every time I bet on Quentin Grimes, he did jack shit for me. It cost me units upon units, but every time I don't bet him, 25 points, 30 points, 45 points, real dickbag.
Real dickbag.
Let's go on to the next one. New York on the road at San Antonio. I mean, this is just as crazy as it sounds. In the last 10 games, the Knicks have the second best defense in the NBA, and the Spurs have the best offense. I'm just trying to get my bearings here on both of these teams, trying to figure out what both of these teams are right now. Obviously, the Knicks lose such a high usage piece in Jalen Brunson. It kind of changes the whole identity of the team. All of a sudden, you look at the starting lineup, and the Knicks are a defensive team now. Their defense looks great. I mean, you got Bridges, Hart, Anunoby. McBride's out there instead of Brunson. McBride can play some defense. So the Knicks are now a defensive team, and the Spurs are all out, do nothing but score. And in the last 10 games, they're the best offense in the NBA and the worst defense. So I really have no idea. I had this one at 9.5. I also had it, I think, at 231. So I guess a slight lean towards the over. You can just put over or pass up for me. But it's crazy taking an over in the Knicks game right now. But I think anybody could score in this Spurs defense. It's so bad. So I guess over or pass for me. But I don't have a bet in this one.
Speaking of how bad the Spurs defense is, I do have a player that I bet in this one. Miles McBride, 15 plus points, plus 125 at DraftKings. I love the fact that he's missed this in 3 of 5 games since Brunson got hurt. The biggest thing for me is the volume in the minutes. He's averaging over 34 minutes per game in those 5 games. He's taken 13 field goal attempts on average in those games as well. And he's taken at least 11 in every single game. He just really hasn't shot well. Well, you know what? A perfect solution for when you can't shoot well is a play against the Spurs defense. I think they have the worst defensive net rating in the last 10 games. You might be able to confirm that or not. They're bottom 5 in points in the paint. They're bottom everywhere. And guards specifically are smoking them. 10 of the last 15 guards have hit their point prop over, including 5 straight. So I think this is a really good buy low spot on McBride to score 15 points just because he hasn't shot well, but the volume's been there.
Yeah, I'm surprised. This seems like a really good price against a Spurs team that can't stop anybody. I like this bet.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
First time in years. I think
You
in
better
2 years.
clip. You better clip that.
Yes. We're sauce moments.
And, that's your resume. Kyle Kirms endorses my pick. Chris.
Agree with everything you say here, Cal. San Antonio, second worst defensive rated team. Defensive rating in each one of their shot zones is actually bottom 5. So it's not like oh, they're giving it up in the paint. No, they're giving up paint, mid-range, short mid-range, long mid-range, rim. I mean, all of it. They're allowing 127 points per game in their last 5. The Knicks are also 5th in offensive rebound rate last 5 games. So in my opinion, they should be able to dominate the boards. I think Mitchell Robinson is listed as questionable. And you got a San Antonio team that's 20th in opponent offensive rebound rate last 5 games. So I think the Knicks, even if they do miss, which they probably won't, if they do miss, they should be able to get a lot of their own rebounds. Also, I was looking at the Spurs. They're minus 3.5 in net rating with the 3rd easiest strength of schedule over their last 5 games. I mean, they just played Charlotte, they played New Orleans, Dallas twice, and they played the Lakers on the second leg of a back-to-back 4th game and 5th night. So Knicks can name the number here, Cal. I know it's the first leg of a back-to-back. Y'all got Charlotte tomorrow, but I think Knicks team total up and over 119.5. They've only scored 120 once since Jalen Brunson went down, and that was against the fast-paced Kings. They got to 133. We're looking at another fast-paced Spurs team that's not really playing about a lot of defense, don't even care about defense, and I think that they're going to be able to score the basketball as well. So Knicks team total up and over, especially with the spread moving already, I think would be my endorsement here, over 119.5.
Next.
That means he likes it, Moda.
Washington, Utah.
Jail.
This is a tough one for
1-800 gambling game, Kyle. Stop it.
Oh no, this is one of my biggest bets of the day. But I gotta say, this is a tough one for defenders of the NBA product. What happened with this one? So for those of you that are unfamiliar with what I'm talking about, last night Walker Kessler is ruled out. Marcus Smart is ruled out. Jordan Poole is listed as doubtful. This happened last night. I went and grabbed Utah. I got the Jazz at minus 2.5 and Jazz minus 1.5. I bet it twice. All the way up to 5. Norm went all the way up to 5. So earlier today, Walker Kessler is ruled in. Lauri Markkanen is ruled out. And Jordan Poole and Marcus Smart are going to play. So, dude,
You know what happened, right, Cal?
No.
You know what happened.
NBA told them to stop tanking.
The NBA made that call. Remember, the Jazz just got fined like $100,000.
Markkanen was ruled out.
Right, but that's for personal reasons though. So I don't know what that is.
Kessler was ruled out for rest.
Well, that was rest. I'm talking about Lauri Markkanen specifically. His was personal. So personal may be something different, right? Like it's all about the injury report, and they just fined him for not playing in the game last week. It was $100,000. I was reading into that, I think maybe yesterday. So the second fine I think is like $500,000. The third fine is $1 million. So the NBA is trying their best to crack down on it. They just waited too long to try to enforce it.
What?
Why rule him out?
Hold on. What you're saying makes no sense. He's ruled out.
You're talking about Markkanen, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying only for they can only implement that fine if players are resting and it's injury related, not personal related.
No, but let me reiterate. I said Lauri Markkanen is ruled out, and you said you know why? Because they just got fined. It's almost
I was my fault. What I was trying to say, I'm saying why all the guys are ruled in now is because the NBA made those calls like, hey, bro, like we're not going like what we resting Poole for?
The team, the guys that were ruled in are on the Washington side.
And Kessler,
though.
Whatever. I still like the matchup. Let me talk. I still like the matchup. First of all, Utah's been very profitable against bad defenses. Against bad offenses this year, which Washington definitely is. Even though they got some pieces back, there's still no Chris Middleton in there. Against bottom 10 offenses, the Jazz are 14-4 against the spread. 14-4 against the spread against those bad offenses. And check this out. This is a little thin. Some people might hear this one and say it's crazy, but hear me out. What does Washington do a lot of offensively? They run the pick and roll with Jordan Poole, run a lot of pick and rolls. They're top 5 in pick and roll frequency. Check this out. The Jazz, weirdly, one of the best defenses in the NBA against the pick and roll. Top 5 pick and roll defense here. When they play teams that run the pick and roll, this is actually crazy. So Utah against the top 5 teams in the NBA in pick and roll frequency. So the teams that run the most pick and rolls, 8-0 against the spread. Against the top 10 teams in pick and roll frequency, 15-4 against the spread. Against the teams that don't run the pick and roll, 9-19 against the spread, against the bottom 10. So the Jazz, extremely profitable against these pick and roll offenses, extremely profitable against bad offenses. The Wizards are both. They're a bad pick and roll offense. Beautiful for the Jazz defense here. Also, the Jazz are very profitable against defenses that can't keep their opponents out of the paint. It's a good matchup for the Jazz. I still like it. I'm just pissed all of my CLV was taken away because this shit was at 5 and I had 1.5. I was feeling like the man, flexing a little bit. I was robbed of my CLV. Still like the Jazz, like the matchup.
Yeah, under my name, Kyle or Prep Beaver, can you put that the Utah Jazz can lick my asshole? Because I had Kyle Filipowski double. It was a great price. He's been awesome without Walker Kessler.
Agreed.
I'm taking my dogs for a walk over lunch, and I get a text that Kessler was ruled in. Like, what the hell's this? He was ruled out last night at 11:30 this morning. He was still listed as out, and then they just changed their mind. So the Utah Jazz, Adam Silver, I don't care. The Jazz can lick my asshole because I had a great price on Kyle Filipowski double, and now it's unplayable. So yeah, that's just the fun of betting the NBA. Sometimes I got screwed, but yeah, no play in this one.
Chris, what are your thoughts?
Those are my thoughts. Next game probably.
Utah, great matchup. Don't bring that pick and roll shit out to Salt Lake. Next. Memphis, Portland. CLV Kings back. Not really a big deal. Got under 238. Not really a big deal, guys. Yeah, I did get under 238 at this one. Oh, am I looking at the wrong one? Oh, no. Memphis, Portland. Yes, this is the one I got correct. This is the right one. So I got under 238. I have 2 unders. We'll get to the other one in a game or two. So this one, where are my notes on this one? Grizzlies, Blazers. So Memphis has struggled when they've played good defenses. Portland is definitely a good defense right now. Remember, there's no Ja Morant. And you know what? Let me make sure that has changed because the bullshit. No, still no Ja Morant. So there's no Ja Morant. That you would think slow the Grizzlies down a bit, certainly take a little bit of their offensive prowess away. In fact, many would argue that the Grizzlies are a much better defensive team when Ja Morant doesn't play. So Jaren Jackson Jr. is back in the rotation for Memphis. Ja Morant not playing in this one. Grizzlies defense might be all right here. And this is a Grizzlies defense that protects the basket well, protects the paint well. Portland likes to attack, even though they have been shooting threes as of late. But yeah, I think maybe people looking at this game might perceive it to be, hey, Portland was running a super fast pace. It's Memphis. They get out and run. I don't think that's the current build of these two teams. Like I said, I got it at 238. I would probably still play it here at the 235.5 under.
I didn't play this one because the line has been moving back and forth, but the look I like is Jalen Wells over 10.5 points. That's right now minus 122 at FanDuel, minus 115 at Hard Rock. That was 11.5, and I really like the 10.5 number because 4 separate times this year he's landed on exactly 11 points. Seems to be a little bit of a key number. Without Ja Morant, he's hit 12 or more or 11 or more points in 18 of 26 games. So it's just under 70% hit rate, averaging 13.2 points per game. Good matchup against the Blazers. 11 of 15 guys with Wells' scoring profile have hit the over. They're decent at guarding spot up, which is where the majority of Wells' points come from. But they're bottom 7 in transition, bottom 7 via free throws, which are the next 2. So without Ja Morant, I like to pivot to Jalen Wells' points.
Chris, what are your thoughts on Jalen Wells?
I like Jalen Wells. I think he's a really good rookie. Probably did they confirm whether it was a couple other guys on the injury report outside of Jalen? Scottie Pippen Jr. Is he in?
I did not.
Questionable.
I did not say.
He's questionable. Yeah, I like it a lot more because I think his minutes go up if he's actually in. As far as this game, Kyle, I'm looking at it last night, and I see the lines are starting to move. Right, this was 6.5. I see the lines starting to move to 4.5, and on ESPN Bet I see a 6.5, and I'm like, oh shoot, I should probably go grab this. Let me actually look into the game first a little bit more because this is one of the last games, and I didn't really have a lot of interest in betting it. So I'm looking into it, and I'm like, okay, cool. I think I'm gonna take the points, the 6.5. Then I'm starting to look into how Memphis likes to score the basketball. 2 places on the floor: transition, top 5, and in the paint, top 5. And Portland, not great in those areas. So I was like, you know what? I'll just pass on this one. So I kind of stayed away. You mentioned Ja Morant not being there. I think that does make sense. I don't like that Memphis is 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 games. So if I had to bet it, I think I'd still be grabbing up 4.5 here with Portland. I think they can keep it close.
I had it was 5.5 last. No, I actually think it was Memphis -6 last night, and I was leaning Portland. Yeah. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Another under for me. 236.5 I got last night. I'm on the under here. This is another one where it's like, how could you take an under between the Bulls and the Suns? It's because both of these teams are playing much better defense than you think. It's actually kind of weird. Let me pull it up. Ready for this? We're talking about the Bulls and Suns. We're talking about full season. These are 2 of the worst defenses in the NBA this year. But in the last 10 games, the Bulls are 9th in defensive efficiency, 2nd in the last 5 games. So the Bulls have been playing some defense, and don't look now, so have the Suns. And the Suns are 11th in defensive efficiency in the last 5 games. And specifically, where have the Suns been playing defense? Against the 3-point shot, which is what Chicago likes to do. They take a lot of threes, even though they have transitioned into attacking the paint a little bit as of late. But that's kind of my play here. Both of these teams playing much better defense than you think, and Chicago's offense hasn't been all that good. They take a lot of threes. They don't make them. They're dead last at 3-point efficiency in the last 10 games. So yeah. Ooh, another thing. This was cool, Chris. I don't know if you saw this in my video last night. I thought this is interesting. So the Suns play bad defense in transition. So that's the first thing that jumps out at you when you look at this matchup. The Bulls like to run. The Suns can't defend in transition, right? But check this out. So against teams that run in transition, so the top 10 in transition frequency, the Suns are 8-17 to the under. Against teams that don't run in transition, 11-6 to the over. So it seems like the Suns do a little bit of what the Bucks do. When they see the fast-paced teams, they make it a point to slow the game down. So yeah, under 236.5. I like it. Next. Go.
Go. God, how I talk to my dogs. I don't have an official play in this one. I like the Osa Ogadaro. I don't want to butcher his last name, points, but I liked it when it was 5.5 this morning. It's now 6.5. That 6 number is a key number because he's only scoring in the paint. So he's either getting 3 or 4 buckets. So I'll pass on this one.
Someone said KD's going to eat Buzelis tonight.
Could. He definitely could. Buzelis been hooping though.
Yeah.
Moment of silence.
Wait. Are you saying the Bulls free diet is over?
It's over. I bet Chicago plus 6.5. First time in who knows how long? Maybe since they had Michael Jordan. It's been a while. So Giddey is going to play today. He's going to rest tomorrow when they play against Sacramento. And you got Bill out. You got Grayson Allen out. You got Plumlee out. So even with Giddey coming back, I still think that I'm starting to. I guess you could say I'm starting to buy this Bulls team. I'm talking about the defense that you talked about, Kyle. I think they're able to slow down Phoenix. Where Phoenix want to shoot the ball? Mid-range, corner 3, right? Number 1, top 5, 3-point frequency, accuracy, all that good stuff last 5 games. Chicago is top 5 in corner 3-point defense, accuracy and frequency. So I'm not sure where Phoenix is going to be able to shoot the basketball from. And I do think that Chicago is going to play. I do think Phoenix is going to slow the pace down. You mentioned, Kyle, with these high totals in Phoenix games, just 230 or higher. They're actually 17-8 and 2 to the under. That's 68% to the unders if the totals are greater than 230. And we've seen the Bulls actually play some defense, man. So I am expecting Phoenix to just kind of slow the game down. I don't think Chicago is going to play too fast. And also, I like that Chicago is also getting to the rim now. They're actually like trying to score in the paint because you mentioned the 3-point frequency being down. So I think that's going to present a little bit of a challenge because, like you said, Phoenix has been guarding the 3-point line really well. So, yeah, I bet the 6.5. I think it's down to 6 now. Give me the Bulls.
Someone in the comments says, Modai, serious question. Who dresses you?
Wait, if you think my wife would put me in this shirt, you're crazy. So she would not.
That was our very own Shipley who asked that.
That was Eric Shipley. Who hasn't shared a single bet in the chat today. Next up, Denver against the Lakers. So I'm going to let Chris talk first. He's a Lakers fan. I just want to share personally, I don't give a fuck about the first leg of a back-to-back here. The Lakers play the Bucks tomorrow. I get it. And normally I'd be like, hey, Lakers on a first leg to a back-to-back and all that. Man, they want this one. They want this one before. This is a much more important game. A Western Conference game against a Nuggets team where there's like a Lakers-Nuggets rivalry developing here. It's become a real fun head-to-head matchup. The Lakers took them pretty bad in one of the games. They almost beat them, missing a bunch of pieces the last time they played. So Lakers-Nuggets is becoming a cool little rivalry here. I don't care that the Lakers have the Bucks on deck. I'm not saying I'm betting the Lakers. I'm just saying if I was taking the Nuggets here, that wouldn't be the reason. I'm not worried about the game tomorrow for the Lakers. Chris, what are your thoughts on this game?
So first, I would love to know who's actually playing. Do we know who's actually playing in this game? Like from the Denver side of things, are we just expecting those guys to be in? Aaron Gordon and Christian Braun and Jokic and Murray? Like,
no idea.
No idea. So no idea for me either. I know that the total did get bet up. That I guess that implies that they are going to play. The Lakers specifically at home have been very, very profitable. I know that they went on their road trip. They got smoked. They lost to Brooklyn outright. Lost to Milwaukee. Got smoked in that game. Came back, played Denver really, really tough, and ended up losing that game as well. But at home, they actually got an 8-game winning streak. 8-game winning streak at home, ATS and straight up. They're giving up 103 points. When I watched your video this morning, Kyle, after I did my show, I saw you said that the Lakers defense may be fool's gold. And to a certain extent, yeah, I agree. But at home, they play really, really good defense. They've actually they're giving up average of 103 points. Now, do I think they're going to come in and lock Denver up? I don't think so, but it probably would be a look if everybody rolls in for Denver. Their team total gets steamed all the way up. I'll probably be looking towards their team total to go under in this game. It'd probably be my best play. Just stay away from the spread and think that the Lakers are going to play a little bit slower, which we have been seeing. Try to dictate pace, and I would go Denver team total under here. You like that, Kyle?
What does Matthew think?
Yeah, Luka, 10 plus assists. It's plus 120 right now. I got plus 130. I'm still good with plus 120. I really like this play for Luka. He's hit it in 2 of the 4 games that LeBron's missed. So again, it's not like he's been insane in terms of hit rate. And then, or I should say, LeBron's missed when Luka's been on the Lakers, obviously. One game he missed, he had 23 potential assists. He only got 8 of them. Like, that's an insane number. He's going to have more often than not hit 10 assists when he's having 20 plus potential assists. The other game was that game against the Bucks where their offense really couldn't do anything. He only had 3 assists in that game. He only had 11 potential assists. So that one was just a gross game, but averaging 19.5 potential assists in those 4 games. And the Nuggets are one of the biggest assist teams in the entire NBA. On the year, they've given up the most, number 1, the most assists per game in the NBA. In the last 10 games, they're like 5th, 6th most, but they give up the 5th most assists specifically in the restricted area. That's where Luka gets the majority of his. 4 out of 4 players with Luka's assist prop have hit their over against the Nuggets. I love the fact that his numbers have been insane in terms of potentials without LeBron, and it's one of the best matchups you could think of for assists. So I took Luka 10 plus.
Someone said, Thomas Shot says it's Jack Nicholson night in LA tonight. Dude, would that even get who? There's no players on the current Lakers rotation that are old enough to even know who Jack Nicholson is. Who's the oldest player playing for the Lakers tonight? Finney Smith? Finney Smith might know who Jack Nicholson is. Gabe Vincent.
Oldest?
Gabe Vincent probably does. Give me the Lakers, man.
You want the +2? You can get the +2.5, guy.
No, I don't want anything, but I'm making a pick for the show. Lakers or pass.
Hey, Moda, what you said kind of correlates with the Jackson Hayes over points.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, all right.
I don't like that.
Just lobbing it to Jackson Hayes.
Let's go to the next. Cleveland against Sacramento. So I kind of skipped this game last night. We have a little.
I wanted to hear your thoughts on this, Kyle. I really do.
Let's pull it up. Now that there's no Garland and there's no Sabonis, we know that, and Sabonis is going to miss at least a couple weeks, right?
Yeah, I think you said 10 days or something like that.
Okay, 1 second. Let's see where I got this one. If I take those pieces out. Who do you think is going to be getting minutes instead of Garland?
Ty Jerome definitely getting minutes.
But Ty Jerome's already getting minutes. Hold on.
Oh, they got the what's the other little guard name? The little light skinned guard. I think it's his sophomore year.
Is it going to be
Sam Merrill? Dean Wade?
Not Merrill. He's a real point guard. He's a real point guard. What's his name?
Craig Porter?
Craig Porter. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I'll put Craig Porter in there, and then I'll take Sabonis out, and then everyone else is playing for the Kings, right? Who would get minutes for the Kings instead of Sabonis?
It's Valanciunas.
Yeah, but I already have him getting minutes anyway. Maybe like Isaac Jones. Can I interest you in an Isaac Jones? All right, let's put Isaac Jones in. And where's the mismatches I had in this one? 1 second. -2 and 1. So I have this game with no Garland, no Sabonis. Then you add on the fact that Cleveland's on a back-to-back. I have this game Cleveland -4.8. Where's it at?
Right where the line is. 5. No value.
Damn. What about the total? 234.5. I have it at. I have the total at 237.
Okay, I see a 236.5.
So, it's that high? No, you can get it. You can get a 234.5. So I guess over. I don't know. Do you guys? I'm sure Matthew has something.
I don't have an official play in this one. The general pivot when Sabonis is out is Valanciunas rebounds, but last time that happened, they benched him in the second half and he didn't even play 20 minutes. There's no reasoning for that. They just went with a different lineup change, so I don't trust that Valanciunas is going to play the minutes. If he does, he should smash his rebound prop, but I don't trust that he will, so I don't have anything in this one.
So when I was looking into it, the first thing that jumped out to me was a trend. Is Sacramento as a home dog. They're 0-5 straight up and against the spread this season. And then I started looking into Cleveland being just 1-5 against the spread when they're playing a third game in 4 nights and they're a road favorite. Sacramento, where do they take all of their shots now that they have DeRozan and Zach LaVine in the mid-range? Number 1 in frequency, number 1 in accuracy, last 5 games and full season. Cleveland has really, really struggled to stop teams from taking mid-range shots. Full season and last 5 games, they're bottom 10 in both time frames. So that kind of led me to Sacramento plus the points. I kind of feel like Cleveland is interesting because Cleveland has lost 2 games and they've lost them different ways. They only scored 108 points to Orlando. Only scored 103 points to Orlando. Gave up 108. And then they lose to the Clippers last night, and they give up, what was it, 132 points to the Clippers last night? So, like, yeah, that's pretty bad. And now you got a Sacramento team kind of resting. Third game in 4 nights, 4th and 6th for Cleveland. As much as I want to fade them, I kind of feel like if you look at Sacramento defensively, they've been terrible. Their defense is almost bad as the Spurs. So I kind of feel like Cleveland's still going to be able to score the basketball. Cal, off memory, where do the Kings struggle to guard the most?
Well, I don't have to go off memory. I have it here. Wow. They have
you know what I mean? Yeah. So I feel like Cleveland's going. Yeah, I feel like Cleveland. I know that they haven't been shooting well recently. We talked about that yesterday. Kind of feel like they're gonna be able to score the basketball. So maybe a look towards their team total up and over. I think it's like 119.5. I think they can get to 120.
And Matt, you passed.
Correct.
Clear the board. Let everyone see these gentlemen's names. Crispy Captain with 2 N's. He has a morning show called Wake That Ass Up, where he goes through the NBA slate every morning. And over the summer, he'll be doing the WNBA slate as well. So, and then Matthew, you guys probably already know, but he has his own YouTube channel as well. Uploads, does daily uploads. He's most known for what's coming up. His the home run reports.
Dong season, baby.
I wasn't gonna say it. I'll let you say it. He's most
Dong
known.
Season.
So yeah, it's almost Modi season. Did you take any home runs in the first 2 games, Matt?
Yeah, I took 2 yesterday. I decided to hold off today, and of course I had Tommy Edman yesterday, and of course he hit today. So it's my own lesson that I just.
So basically, you're ice cold.
Correct. Yeah. To answer your question, I haven't hit a single home run yet this entire NBA
this guy
season.
sucks.
MLB season.
This guy sucks. All right, gentlemen, enjoy your day.
All right, thank you, gentlemen.
See you tomorrow, Cal. Best of luck
You
tonight,
guys.
fellas.
Right now. So we got Scoop. We have Moneyline Mac coming on, but I told him 5. So it'll be just me and Scoop hanging for a second. Talking ball. So what the plan is, so we have Scoop and Moneyline Mac coming on. We're going to do the 2 play-in games, but if you see in the up next tier, in the bottom corner, we haven't heard, me, Toast, and Trevor did our brackets. We haven't heard from Scoop and Mac. We're not going to go through the whole bracket. I'm going to have them each pick their two favorites to cover and 2 underdogs to cover from each region. So we'll go to the South region first. They'll both pick 2 favorites to cover. Then we'll go, and then they'll both pick 2 underdogs to cover, and then we'll go to the next region. That way, we can hear their thoughts on the bracket without having to sit there and watch them fill a whole thing out. That was my thoughts on it. Scoop, how's your day?
Good, man. Got to admit, I got lucky with North Carolina. We talked about it yesterday. I mean,
the refs,
if the refs weren't on Carolina's side, I got lucky there.
Did you see how many people that didn't realize that was a bit last night?
Yeah, it's pretty embarrassing.
They lost by 40. We're kidding.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about your bracket? I'm fairly certain that I didn't pick any incorrect.
I'm pretty sure I'm going 0 for 63.
Are you a bracket guy?
Yeah, I like the bracket. I'm never great at it. I actually won last year.
I don't think you can be good at it.
They did seed differential in one pool, so I just picked upsets, and that's pretty much cashing because I was just picking first round upsets. Yeah, no, I have I don't want to talk about my bracket.
I've heard
it's embarrassing.
I've heard a lot of people that I consider to be sharp college basketball people saying that they think it's going to be a chalky year.
Yeah, it's pretty embarrassing.
I don't know what's embarrassing about that.
I have 4 1 seeds.
Oh, no shit. Do you really?
Yeah, first time since 2008.
Oh, dude, even if you're right, you get no respect for taking 4
1
seeds.
I don't deserve any respect. It's just I just don't see any of the 1 seeds losing up into the Final Four.
Someone said you guys do daily baseball. Yeah, we do 2 daily. We have a midnight show and a 4 p.m. show. We do baseball twice a day. I'm telling Mac we're ready.
Yeah, and I actually did get lucky with the under on the other game. That was going to overtime and it would have screwed me, but that Hail Mary pass by Alabama State made me catch the under, so that was nice. So 2-0 to start. That's never good.
So anyway, I told Mac 5 o'clock, so we have 11 minutes. But Scoop, why don't you tell us your thoughts on this first one, Mount St. Mary American?
I think this this was going to be a close one all the way. To be honest, I was back and forth on both sides. Both obviously have advantages and disadvantages. I lean slightly to the American side, America. Matt Rogers has been great this year, and really, if you look at his usage, he's basically the whole team. He's shooting at a 55% clip. He's one of the best post players this year. I know it was obviously the Patriot League, and but that's on par with the Mid-Atlantic. He's also shooting 40% from three. He can spread the floor and think he'll take advantage down low. And if not, he can kick it out to Jones, who's also shooting 45% from three. The Mount, they don't have much offense. They're a way better defensive team. When they do have the ball, they're 349th in turnovers committed a game. They're pretty careless. I really just think American's going to limit the threes St. Mary's tries to hoist up. That'll force Hobbs to do too much on offense. They're just too limited offensively, the Mount. Mount cash for me against Iona, but American is going to launch some threes. They've taken 45% of their shots from 3 points. They converted 35%. Not to mention, I think St. Mary's is still going to be without their two best players, Pacheco and Ard. I think one of them is questionable. I think it's just going to be too much to keep winning without them. So I'm going to be on American. It should be. I think this is going to be a close game regardless.
Got a couple questions from the comments. Well, first, do you feel more or less comfortable knowing Toast is also one American?
No, Toast is due for some positive regression. Yeah, I feel bad. It's never good when he says, "Fuck this sport, I'm ready for baseball." But I'm
I think it's
feel
this
like
time of year. He doesn't
like
like
it's the right side.
He doesn't like the bracket. He doesn't like when all the quote unquote casuals get in. He doesn't like that shit.
It was also the best public appearance last year in history of the NCAA tournament. I think the public hit 60% of the bets or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Got another question here from T Wheels. He says, "Scoop, which number 1 seed are you least confident in?"
Probably
Houston, right?
Stupid. No, I think Auburn personally.
Well, Auburn. I have 2 1 seeds in, and those are the 2 I don't have making it. Auburn and Houston. I have the other 2.
I think Auburn. I mean, Auburn's gonna obviously. I think they'll easily get to the Sweet 16, and then it gets kind of rough. I also have Michigan there against Auburn. I think they'll still beat Michigan, but I have them losing in the Elite Eight. So,
all right, let's move on to the next game. When Matt gets here, we can jump back here. Next game, Xavier, Texas. This is a cool one. I've been Rodney Terry with a plus all the way. Blind Texas whenever Rodney Terry has a plus sign next to his name. But Xavier, the last month of the season, was playing really well. So I get why they're laying, truly. So I'm not going to bail on Rodney Terry after he's been so kind to me. But it's got to be Texas for me here. I think Toast is on Texas as well. What about you,
yeah,
Scoop?
That's unfortunate. I'm also on Texas, so that's also relying me on Toast going 2-0 today. Yeah, I'm taking Texas. Xavier's 1-9 against quad 1 opponents. I do know they played tough games down the stretch to get to this point. They did almost beat Marquette in the tournament, and the reason they're in games is obviously their 3-point shooting. They finished 7th in the country in 3-point percentage. The issue is their defense. They can shoot threes, but they can't defend them at all. They're below 100. Below the 160th mark in 2-point defense, 3-point defense. I know Texas isn't great. They finished the season losing 7-9 before picking up those 2 SEC wins, got them into the tournament. But their physical defense, I know I read or what people said, Texas finished in the bottom 4 in the SEC. They're lucky to be there. Well, I mean, compare the Big East and the SEC. The SEC is just miles better than the Big East this year. Texas playing the top offenses all year. They're allowing 72 points a game is kind of expected in the SEC. They're not a Tennessee and Auburn or a Florida type of defense, but still a good defense. The quality of opponents Texas has played just really dwarfs Xavier. I don't have an SEC bias. I'm just being real. Quality opponents are way different. So in this game, I am taking Texas. I don't really like Professor X in this one. I think Texas is gonna. I think they'll win outright personally.
Where do you put the Big East in terms of strongest conferences?
This year or just in general?
This year specifically. Max here.
I think it goes probably 4th. I would say 4th.
Who's 3rd?
Big 12.
Yeah.
Big 10 second, and I don't know. ACC and Big East are 4th or 5th. They're both right around that range.
So Mac is here. What's up, man?
What's up, man? Sorry I'm late. I had to go run and get some beer for the weekend.
Yeah, this would be the right weekend for it.
No.
And actually, you're not late. You're 6 minutes early. So we did Mount St. Mary American. Scoop picked American. Trevor last night is on Mount St. Mary plus the 2.5. What are you on?
I did go back and forth, but I ended up landing on American with you guys. I like Dwayne Simpkins, what he's been able to do in year number 2. And I just like also the big man, Rodgers. I think that they have an advantage on the inside. I know Mount St. Mary's is shooting the ball really, really well right now, and that second half comeback, their unique style. But I think American has an advantage on the interior, so I will ride with the Eagles of American laying the 2.5.
Trevor Vandenbosch, I know you're in the comments. You are the only person on this Mount St. Mary's team. Every single person we've had on and talked to is on American here. And then the next game, Mac, I've been blindly Rodney Terry when catching points, Texas. Rodney Terry when laying points, not Texas. So I'm sticking with it. Any reason to go Xavier here?
Oh, a lot of people love Xavier tonight, but not me. I'm with you, man. I rode the Texas dog train over and over and over again, and when he's a favorite, he's definitely a fade. And I think pressure off game, Trey Johnson, they got a guy that they can go to down the stretch to get a bucket. And I also think that I think the size and athleticism of Texas can bother Xavier. And another thing, I think the SEC, these teams stepping out of SEC play, it's a breath of fresh air, and I think we're going to be reminded why they were so good in the non-con. So Xavier, I think a little bit inflated by the Big East being really down. I like Texas here with you guys. Hook 'em.
Longhorns up. All right, so we're going to go region by region. We're starting in the South. Why don't we do favorites first? So Scoop, you have to pick 2 favorites to cover in the South region. Who, if you're going to give us 2 favorites that are going to cover the number, who are you giving us?
Let me get to my South here. First one, I'm gonna take Iowa State. I know it's a big number. Lipscomb isn't a good team. Experience is there for Iowa State. I'm not gonna go. I mean, we're gonna talk about it tomorrow or Friday or whatever they play. But I know Gilbert's not gonna be there regardless. I don't think they're gonna need him. They're more than capable of taking it to Lipscomb. What's it called? Iowa State, they were battling injuries all year. When his team's fully healthy, which, you know, obviously they've been rough. They can compete with anyone. Not to mention, I mean, they're still a top 10 defense, a decent rebounding team. Lipscomb, if their shots aren't falling, they're not going to get any second or third chances. They're 322nd in offensive rebounds a game. It's a really popular upset pick. I just don't think Iowa State's respected at all. So I'm going to take Iowa State.
Mac, you want to give us your first favorite from the South?
Yeah, I will go with the Texas A&M.
Let's go. Everyone likes Yale. Why?
Everybody loves Yale because they won last year outright as a dog, and historically they have been really good in these matchups. And they did beat an SEC team, beating Auburn. But I think that's why A&M won't sleepwalk through this game. I think A&M with those veterans, they're one of the oldest teams in the country. Wade Taylor and company. I think they're able to blow it open late. I don't think it's going to be a blowout from the get-go, but I'll trust the buzzsaw, who's traditionally pretty damn good in March, to be able to pull away from the Ivy League guys.
Yeah, so Prop Beaver put the same one up for me. This is my favorite. I heard the pump fake guys. Yale. No, Texas A&M comfortably. Scoop, give us a second favorite.
Favorite. Let me see. I'm gonna take Michigan. That's a South, right?
Yeah.
I mean, probably the biggest upset I see is everyone taking San Diego beating Michigan. I know they're getting only 2.5. Michigan is playing above their weight lately, but they're rolling right here. I know San Diego's been awesome. I think Michigan's completely disrespected as well. 2.5 point favorites is wild to me. I know that, you know, San Diego had Michigan in general, they have the 4th most quad wins in all of basketball.
Really?
Yeah, you don't notice, but they do. And then they have a top 10 percentage inside the arc. UC San Diego hasn't played a top 50 ranked team all year, and the size down low, Michigan's going to give them a ton of problems. They're going to dominate this paint. UC San Diego they never had played against 2 7-footers anywhere close to in the Big West or whatever it is. So I love Michigan here. I think they're going to win by double digits.
Yeah, a lot of people. I picked San Diego in my bracket. I kind of don't like. I have them losing to A&M in the next round anyway. Mac, second favorite in the South.
I kind of just realized I like a lot of dogs in this one. I mean, I'm not a big 116 guy anyway, so usually those are the ones I stay away from. But I'll go with Marquette, laying 3.5. I think Cam Jones been in multiple tournaments, David Joplin as well. This is an experienced group. I think that they kind of just, for whatever reason, took it on the chin a little bit in the Big East. I know I just said that the Big East was down, but unfortunately the Mountain West does not have a good track record in March as much as I love that league. I just trust this Marquette veteran group here laying a short number, in my opinion, laying 3.5. I think that they come out and are able to control the tempo and the battle of the backcourts. I trust Cam Jones over Donovan Dent in this matchup, so give me Marquette.
I like Marquette as well, but my second favorite would be I know everyone likes this. I have Louisville beating Auburn, so it would be Louisville laying the 2.5 to Creighton would be my second pick. But you don't have to put it up because we're going to move on to the dogs. Scoop, what's your...
I'll follow that up with New Mexico as my underdog. I think there's going to be a Mountain West resurgence. I know they've been dog shit like the last 10 years in the first round. I think this isn't really backing New Mexico. It's going against the Big East. I know Marquette started off well, but the last month they were outside the top 50 in offense and defense. I just think they're going to struggle with New Mexico's pace. I'll talk about it more tomorrow.
Mac, favorite dog of the South.
I guess we're going head-to-head all over the place. I took the Tridents. I think that the Tridents are a tough matchup, and then for Michigan, fourth game in 7 to 8 days here, going out there to elevation. I know Michigan's going to have an advantage on the inside, but I think UC San Diego, their ability to make shots from all 5 spots can spread out those 2 7-footers in Vlad and Danny Wolf. I think the Tridents are even better than what people are making them out to be. So, yeah, give me the Tridents to knock off Michigan. I'm going to continue fading the Big Ten champ. It's been a good system play over the last couple of years.
I heard someone talking about that, fading the Big Ten champion. So this is my chalkiest region. But if I think I have Iowa State advancing, but if you force me to bet a dog, I would probably take the big number with Lipscomb. Not that I think they're going to win or have a chance. I don't really even know much about Lipscomb, so I don't know. Like I said, this is my chalkiest region. So Scoop, second dog.
Yeah, and just to reference, remember last time I talked about Michigan? I think I'm like 0-7 again in Michigan picks the last 7. I don't understand that team. So yeah, second dog. I'm gonna ride North Carolina. Shouldn't be here, Angle. Ole Miss is tough. San Diego State had a better defense than them, and really it relies on just RJ Davis being unstoppable shooting. Really this whole team shooting. I know Ole Miss has more of a toughness that San Diego doesn't have, but I don't know. I'm gonna keep riding them to slight favorites. I don't think they should be, which is another reason I'm picking them. I think Ole Miss is a significantly better team. But yeah, I'm gonna ride North Carolina.
Ew, I don't like that one. Mac, dog number 2.
Wait, so did you say Carolina for your dog?
Yeah, it wasn't. It was 1.5, and then it went back to.
I think they're actually favored, but I mean they're 11, so they're technically also a dog.
That's why I was technically.
I was confused because I was like, "Who's the favorite now?" Yeah, I got you. I knew what you're saying. All right, I went head to head with Scoop already. I'll go head to head with you, Kirms. I'll give out Creighton. Everybody loves some Louisville. Great story, but I'm a fade the ACC guy, and I trust Kalkbrenner, Ashworth, this veteran group. McDermott's been really good in the tournament over the last couple of years, and I think they're going to be able to control the paint and control the tempo here. I think there's a lot of pressure on Louisville in this game. The game's in Lexington. It's supposed to be a home game. Everybody's talked about the Louisville-Auburn game in the second round. I think Creighton is a little bit of a pain in their ass here, so I'll be on the Jays.
He's definitely right about everyone talking about Louisville, Auburn. I filled out my bracket, talked to like 7 people, and I was like, I got Louisville beating Auburn. They're like, me too. I'm like, shit. Everyone's got that. So let's move ahead. Let's go ahead and move on to the West region. which is down bottom left for those of you playing the home game.
That's what I'm doing too.
Bottom left. And favorite here. I'll go first. Favorite. Johnny's in a blowout. Don't overthink it. This team's on a mission. You can put the Johnnies up for me as my favorite in the West. Scoop?
West, I'm going to go with Maryland. Love the team. I don't really like Grand Canyon much. I was down on them. Still the best starting 5 in the country. I know they have a terrible bench. This seems like a popular one as well. But all these players can score. Julian Reese and Derek Queen are going to be awesome down low. Grand Canyon doesn't really, they're going to try to push the ball down low, but Queen and Reese are defensive monsters. So, yeah, I'm going to take Maryland.
Favorite?
I am going to go with the 12th seed that's laying points against the 5 seed. I love this Colorado State team.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I'm gonna. I'll talk right after him.
I rode them in the Mountain West at the end of the year, and in that tournament, I think last year they were a sexy, trendy pick because everybody fell in love with Isaiah Stevens. I think they're better this year because they got more size and they're less ball dominant. Nikkei Clifford's an absolute stud. And Memphis is banged up here, coming out west, coming off the American Championship. No Tyrese Hunter. I think Colorado State gets it done, and maybe the Mountain West does get a nice win here for a change.
You got to be careful picking against Memphis. The other day, I had someone comment a paragraph disrespectful to Penny Hardaway, this long ass thing, and I was like, oh shit, like what did they say? And I went back to listen to it. It was like Toast and Trevor saying very reasonable things. They were not shit. Like those Memphis fans, they're a sensitive bunch.
They're crazy, and they always give me shit whenever I pick against them. They're like 7-11 in league play. ATS. They would win games, but they would not cover that much. But yes, don't let the facts get in the way of a good story.
Yeah, I've noticed this college basketball season that Memphis is a fan base that they don't like when you pick against them, and Scoop's about to.
Yeah, they weren't putting teams away anyway. They lost to Arkansas State. They lost to Temple, Wichita State. And then the teams, like Max said, I mean, UTSA, Wichita State, Rice, all single-digit wins. Yeah, I mean, Penny Hardaway hasn't been good since Blue Chips with Nick Nolte.
So you Scoops on Colorado State as well. My second favorite in this one, I don't even like this team. But I feel like everyone thinks Drake is such a trendy pick that I feel like they're just going to get their asses beat by Missouri. And I don't even like Missouri, but like, I don't know. Trevor was talking about it on the Midnight Show last night, and it was pissing me off. And I don't know. It kind of makes me want to bet Missouri, the way he was like, his tone. So, Missouri.
His tone. Is there anything I could change? No, it's just your face.
Mac, you have a second favorite you like here.
I liked the Missouri one. I was thinking about it too, but here I'll hold my nose even more. Give me Kansas. Give me Kansas laying the number against Arkansas. Preseason number 1, new season out of the Big 12. I think we forget in the non-con, Kansas was actually pretty damn good. They beat Duke on a neutral. They beat Sparty on a neutral. Arkansas, no Thero. Boogie Flan's coming back. I mean, is that really an addition? They were 0-5 with him in SEC play. I just trust Bill Self over Calipari with extended rest, extended preparation. Give me the Jayhawks.
Toast said the same thing. He's got Kansas winning a couple games, and he said that he thinks Boogie Flan coming back is a negative because he hasn't been there, and something similar to that. Let's talk dogs. Scoop, hit us with a dog.
Yeah, just to counteract, I will go with Drake. Everybody and their mother is on Drake. I'm the most public person square in the world. Not a shot at Missouri. Like Kyle said, I don't even like this Missouri team. They do have great 3-point shooting. The thing is, Drake has a perimeter defense. I think that can keep this close. They're in the top 50 holding people from 3. Yeah, I mean, Drake on offense is playing to the full shot clock. It may get Missouri out of rhythm. I still like Drake. It's basically a fade of Missouri.
I have a feeling Mac's about to pick my favorite dog right here. Watch. Go ahead.
Boomer Sooner?
No. Oh, I knew you were going to be on them, though. No, that's not the one I was going to say.
So Porter Mosier is right there to get the Villanova job. what better way to break a tiebreaker than beating UConn in the first round? Hey, if I can beat UConn, why can't I be the Villanova head coach? Apparently, Jay Wright's pushing for him. But, I mean, the real handicap, taking out the coaching carousel, Oklahoma was damn good out of SEC play. I mean, they were 13-0. I still don't think this UConn team is that good. I just think that they've overachieved because of their culture. I think the wrong team's actually favored, but I do understand why UConn's favored because of the name, brand, winning back-to-back national championships. But I think Oklahoma's the better roster. I think the Sooners are going to end the three-peat right here early.
That seems to be the sharp play. I think that was Toast was talking about it last night. I wish it was like UConn -2, so I could bet UConn at 5. It seems crazy.
Yeah.
But no, my favorite underdog in this one of my favorite underdog picks of the first round, Wilmington, outright. Give me the Seahawks, outright. Don't even need the points. I don't even know much about Wilmington, to be honest, but I'm fading Texas Tech. This is one of my favorite underdog picks. This is my big underdog in the first round. I'm on the Seahawks. Scoop?
Piggybacking, I love Oklahoma here. I get the history, I get the resume of Hurley, but the team's not good. I mean, I just realistically can't back UConn the way they play. I think they're going to have a hard time covering fears. Plus, I know Oklahoma's small, and they don't rebound well, but neither does UConn. I mean, they don't really have anything. It's going to be offense against offense. I like Oklahoma the way they played down the stretch. So, yeah, give me Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma advances, personally.
Toast says Tech by 20. Mac, second favorite dog in this region.
You're not going to like this one. I love Omaha. I like those senior guards, and St. John's profiles as a team that gets picked off early in March. Throw out a 3 for 27 clunker from the perimeter, gets a little bit tight there. And they're coming off the Big East Championship where they played out of their mind in the Garden. We know how much that meant to Pitino and company. Everybody's already circling the Pitino versus Calipari Saturday night game or Pitino versus Bill Self. Watch out for these Mavericks of Omaha and those trash cans. They're going to be live in this game. So, yeah, I'll take the 18.5. And, hey, if you really want to take the money line and you're scared of the full game, first half is tempting because St. John's is a slow starting team. So if you think St. John's is going to be able to come back like they always do, then take Omaha first half money line. But I actually think Omaha knocks them off, and this is the stunner.
Ugh.
Yeah, that would be so sad for
That'd
the New
be
York
so
fan
sad
base here.
for the entire Northeast region.
The way we live, it's just not going to be
We're
well.
both in Jersey. My second favorite dog would be Hogs. Hogs up.
Hogs up.
I know it's going to be a popular one, but Hogs up. I do have the St. John's Calipari game circled. I'm one of those people that has that game circled. So let's go we're heading over to, what's the next bracket we have? East. And that is on the top right. So we're in the top right now. Favorite. Mac, why don't you go first in this one?
Sorry, I'm pulling it up. Favorite in this one is
it's
going
mine too.
to
It's
be
mine too.
a lot of favorites in this one. St. Mary's. Yeah. I would imagine you guys have the same handicap. A lot of heartbreak with this program over the last couple of years in March. But banging on the door, just with the big experience group and Randy Bennett. I just think from a defensive standpoint, they're going to be able to keep Vanderbilt out of transition, drag it in the mud. I think they can control the glass,
So
too.
I just put St. Mary's. Put St. Mary's up for all three of us. Scoop, what's your second favorite? Because your first is St. Mary's.
Yeah, this is my favorite. Actually, bet of the tournament is St. Mary's. Second one. Hold on.
I feel like everyone's taking Baylor, but they're a dog right now, right?
I was going to say, that's like, I don't have another favorite. I'm dogging it up. So I guess I'll go Baylor.
You're not taking Liberty, dude.
I am. I'm taking Liberty.
Oh, my God.
I'm taking Wisconsin. That's the same region, right? Yeah. I need the Montana guy in the chat to tell me if I'm wrong or not.
Montana's winning.
I would lean Wisconsin. I mean, I like it's easy to poke holes in Wisconsin, but Tanji is still one of the best scorers. Montana's a good offense, but they have real issues on defensively. Yeah, I mean, I love Wisconsin here. I think they should easily cover.
Just give me Arizona. I don't really know anything about Akron, though. I'm just throwing another one up there. I really don't know. Mac, you have another favorite you like?
I should be ultimate square and just say Duke, whatever they're laying, like everybody else has been doing all year.
Change my pick. I forgot one of my favorite picks to go pretty far here. I'm going to the Elite Eight. Cougs, BYU. Everyone's taking VCU. That's adorable. BYU comfortably here. Everyone's they're super sharp with their VCU. Guarantee you both these guys are about to take VCU. BYU, I have BYU winning this one, then beating Montana, then beating St. Mary's, and then eventually losing to Duke. That's where I have BYU going. Cougs up. Did we? Oh no, we're good.
My other favorite, it won't be a favorite, but they opened as a favorite, Baylor. I like Baylor's guards. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Baylor, to be honest. I think when they get out of Big 12 play, they're gonna start playing well again. They got a tournament experience, Roach. They got a lottery pick in Edgecombe. Omir's been to a Final Four. I think that zone is unique. I think Mississippi State's going to struggle to make shots.
I will say, your perception is different. I picked Baylor too. I haven't talked to one single person that's on Mississippi State in that game. That worries me a little bit. I think everyone. Scoop, are you on Baylor in that one as well?
I like Baylor too.
Yeah, I think every single person I've spoken to is all on Baylor. But all right.
Was it Sparty? It was Sparty and Mississippi State last year. It felt the same way. And then Sparty just ran them. So hopefully it's a repeat.
Yeah, I like Baylor. I like Edgecombe. I like that team. I think it's a cool team. And I live bet them when they were down 21 to Kansas, money line. And they came back and won, so they have a soft spot in my heart. We are now into the East. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Same. We're in the same. We didn't do dogs yet, Prop Beaver. Oh, I'm sorry. You know, we're good. We're in the same region. We're doing dogs. And there's a lot of people. Some people said it last night. I think Trevor said it. A lot of people are taking Robert Morris outright, by the way. Just throwing that out there. But Mac, why don't you give us your favorite dog of the bracket? I can't believe you're taking Liberty. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, Bobby Morris is definitely a trendy one, so I'll stay off that one, even though I will take them. VCU head to head. You already called me out on it. You called my bluff. VCU they match up well with BYU. They got length, they got size at the guard position. They got depth. And I think that they're going to be able to run BYU off the three-point line. I think they're going to be able to score against BYU. I am a little bit worried about them going out to altitude right away, and it is kind of a BYU home game. But the teams that have bothered BYU in the Big 12 were the bigger athletic teams. I think VCU profiles is that. So give me the Rams, baby, to beat the Cougs.
You could put Montana, the Grizzlies, up for me. I've been saying it for a while. Wisconsin's not a good basketball team. They're fraudulent. Their fans are fraudulent. The people that live there are fraudulent. There's nothing respectable about the entire state. This Grizzlies team is feisty. I took them +2 in their conference championship. Played strong the entire game. I think Grizzlies are going to jump out to an early lead here, and Wisconsin's going to fall apart. Greg Gard has lost control of the team. No doubt about it. Grizzlies up. Scoop?
Liberty, get Oregon's ass out of here. They're overrated. Dana Altman's overrated. Shellstat sucks. I think Liberty outright. This team's really good. They shoot threes, seventh in the country in shooting threes. Biddle's not Dante. Yeah, this team isn't good. Get Oregon out of here.
Okay, Toast is somewhere like crunching
I know,
his
Toast
fist.
is gonna cry about
he
it.
loves
Whatever.
Oregon. All right, second dog, Mac.
I'll say the state of Virginia, baby. Give me the Liberty Flames. I think
Yeah.
those two little guards make shots. I know Oregon it has the size advantage, but Liberty, when they stepped up in competition, held their own. They beat K-State. They beat McNeese. And Richie McKay's been here, done that. He's won a tournament game before as a 12 seed. I think they can control the tempo here and make some shots against that funky Oregon zone defense. So, yeah, I'll fade the overrated Ducks.
And and as you guys could have guessed, Toast is livid in the comments about fading Oregon. Scoop, second dog.
Huge zip head, as you know. I am on the Zips. I've been down in Arizona most of the year. Caleb Love, he came alive when it mattered, but I don't think he's going to keep shooting the way he does. I don't think they have a great second option. I think Akron's going to hit their outside shots. You saw Arizona State and BYU put up like 100 against Arizona. Arizona's vulnerable, so I'm taking Akron.
I mean, I guess just put up Robert Morris for me because we kind of ran out of games here. We kind of talked about them all. So just put up Robert Morris here. I have Alabama losing to St. Mary's in the next round anyway. So Yeah, Robert Morris plus 23. Last region. Mac, favorite in the Midwest.
Boiler up.
It's one of my favorite picks.
I think everybody is High Point gives me McNeese vibes of last year, where everybody has talked themselves into High Point. They're not good defensively. I like their team from a skill standpoint, but I think Purdue is going to be able to score 90 to 100 here. I think they'll pull away late. Braden Smith, the best point guard in the country, and I just trust Purdue. They've gone through the get upset in the first round enough. I think they're going to be laser focused. I think they hit High Point in the mouth here.
So I agree. I have Purdue going to I have Purdue winning the championship. Actually, this is my championship team. So I won't say them.
Natty?
Yeah, winning the Natty.
Oh, shit. Nice.
Everyone, I had it last year too. Everyone laughed at me, and we came close. But as far as favorite here, Purdue would obviously be one of mine. You could put. I feel like everyone's hating on Clemson. No one. Fuck McNeese, dude. Give me Clemson. Scoop.
It's funny because both my underdogs are both of the teams you're playing. Yeah, I'm on Houston. I know it's a huge number. Welcome to the tournament, SIUE. Yeah, Houston's going to absolutely wreck them. I feel like everyone's down on Houston. Easiest 1 seed to beat, blah, blah, blah. They're still 26-1 the last 27. I mean, its defense is great. They're going to dominate with their defense. And they're a top 30 in offensive boards. They're not – I mean, SIUE doesn't do anything. So, yeah, I'm definitely taking – plus, the problem is I know the strength of schedule is the 6th worst in all of college basketball for SIU. So, yeah, I'm taking Houston. I think they're going to just dominate by like 40.
Yeah, I mean, I think a team like Edwardsville will cover up their offensive woes that Houston had. I mean, they shouldn't have problems scoring on Edwardsville. All right, Mac, second favorite.
You know, the Utah State zone is unique, but UCLA goes against the Oregon zone every year. And I think Cronin's a good enough coach with extended time to prepare here. They have a big-time size advantage. I think UCLA, I'll lay that 5.5 there. I like them to win by double digits against Utah State, who I think is a little bit overvalued.
Scoop, you have another favorite you like in this one?
Yeah, I hate to do it, but I'm going to take Toast Team here in Gonzaga. I mean, I get that the Zags have been Georgia's been great defensively. They had a nice run, but yeah, I mean, it's hard to go against Gonzaga's offense right now. They're averaging 86 points a game. It's the defense that's been a problem for Gonzaga, but I don't think Georgia's gonna have enough offense to stay with them the whole entire game. So
there's only one more favorite left that we haven't talked about that I have, and it's the Vols. So you can put Tennessee up, but it's really because it's the only game remaining.
That's a big upset pick too. So like I think
Wofford,
most of the
really?
public is on. Yeah, I think most of because of their offense. I think most of it's on Wofford.
How are they going to score? All right, whatever. Actually, 19's reasonable. I might even bet that. All right, so let's talk dogs. Scoop, favorite dog of the Midwest?
Favorite dog in the Midwest? Yeah, I'm going to take High Point. I've been down on Purdue all year. I told Kyle they're not going to make it to the semis of the Big Ten. They didn't. They're not going to make it out of the first round of the NCAA tournament here. I'm sorry.
That's what everyone said last year. Everyone said the same thing to me last year.
Well, they also had a different team last year. They had Edie and down low. At least that helped.
I think that one guy was still
also
there.
let me be real. High Point is like probably the second most popular pick. So before you bet that.
Mac, favorite dog?
You know, a lot of people want to fade Will Wade because he just took the NC State job. True. I think him actually being open and just getting it out of the way, no speculation. I think they play free. Hey, house money. Let's play one more game for our coach. And they're auditioning for their next portal gig because they're all going to be in the portal once this run ends. I like McNeese. They're battle tested. They went on the road in the non-con to Alabama and Mississippi State. Almost won those games outright. I think Clemson's banged up here. I think everybody's fallen in love with them because they went to the Elite Eight last year. Brownell just signed that nice, fat, happy contract today too. Yeah, give me Will Wade and company to make an early ACC statement and knock off the Tigers.
I got a lot of dogs in this one. So I got Utah State winning. I got Troy winning. I got the winner of I got somebody winning that we don't even know who it is yet. I got Texas or Xavier beating Illinois.
Actually, I was going to say, I think if Texas wins, I think they beat Illinois.
I think both teams beat Illinois. Yeah. Give me the dogs. Gonzaga is an unserious program. We've been through it before. Their fans are in absolute denial too. It's hilarious. Toast right after this game will say, "Who cares? It's baseball season." Right after the Zags lose this, that's when he'll break that out. He's so set. He really thinks that a Sweet 16 streak is a thing, and he's like, "No, we'll get to the Sweet 16 because Georgia outright SEC, Mac second dog."
Even if they get by Georgia, Houston's going to smack their ass and end that streak. So that streak's coming to an end. It was a good run for the Zags.
It's over.
I will take. We don't have a graphic on this yet because we don't know who's going to win. I think it's going to be Texas. I have Texas in the Sweet 16 if they can get by tonight. And I think I'll probably take Xavier to the Sweet 16 if they get by this game tonight. I think Illinois is a fraud. I think Illinois is an analytics darling. We know how those go. Underwood has kind of struggled in the tournament. I know he went to the Elite Eight last year, but other than that, he's pretty much struggled, especially in his time at Illinois. A team that's high variance, easy team to pick off. Give me the Horns or Xavier, whoever wins tonight.
Yeah, it's hard to unsee the Illinois-Maryland game. That was, wow. Yeah. They got the shit beat out of them.
Illinois either shoots 90% or 14 from the field. In between, on that team.
Scoop, give us a dog.
Yeah, I'm joining with McNeese. I know it's a popular pick from last year. I'm grabbing him here. Clemson's let me down. Chase Hunter's 35. I mean, he is the best player, and it's funny because I know Wade's taking the job, but he also was a Clemson alum, so this is a fun matchup for him. I really like McNeese here. I think they match up well with them. They're top 70 in offense and defense. I think they're going to give Clemson problems.
Give me Edwardsville. No, you could give me Troy. Give me Troy because I have them beating Kentucky, who's been shaky all year. But I really don't know. I do have Troy advancing, but I have them losing to the team we don't even know who it is. I have the team is Xavier or Texas going to the 16. So yeah. All right. So Mac, what time does the pregame start over at TCE?
Oh shit, 6 o'clock. Yeah, half hour. See everybody over there.
So yeah, if you don't know who that is, that's Moneyline Mac. He's on the College Experience. They do a pregame show in 34 minutes. You know what? I'll put a link to the College Experience in the comments for those of you. I mean, I'm sure most of you watching already know about the show, but in case you're new,
there's a lot of mutual friends in chats.
You'll know the community. It's the same. Yeah. It's the same people. And they also do a late night show where they're on from 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. sometimes too. So just put the link. Did I not put the link?
I think you did. Hey, I actually have been in bed by 2 a.m. the last couple nights. It's actually been nice to be able to get a couple hours extra sleep. It's nice. Yeah.
There's been some times where I'll just look at my phone and be like, they're still live? It's 4:15 in the morning.
There's a couple 6 a.m.ers this year. I was like, God damn, this is going too late.
They go, they recap the entire previous day and then go through the next day. So if you're a college basketball head, it's a good listen. Mac, thanks for joining. Scoop, talk to you later, man.